Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Garo Vanishing Line, which is on episode 18. Now, this episode right here was actually pretty cool, although a little simplistic in a certain sense. So if anything else, let's just get this started. We had to it that Gina decides to drop off Luke, Sword, and Sophie to El Dorado due to the fact that she needs to go back to the village to resupply her equipment as she can't go empty-handed, which is pretty true. El Dorado is filled with a lot of crazy as we saw many episodes back. And we get to see that Sword, Luke, and Sophie found their base of operations apparently, and they decide to explore the city and look around of what's going on in El Dorado. And we had to it that Sophie got a lead thanks to someone giving her a message, although I thought it was a freaking trap, but thank goodness it wasn't. It was like some old man, or looking like middle-aged man if anything, looked like he actually worked with El Dorado's programming. But eventually, after he found out a certain truth about it, he decides to go into run and hiding due to the fact the message told him, like, now that you know the truth, you need to run and hide. There's someone that can help you out, that can defeat horrors, and he ends up finding Sophie and Sword and Luke in the end, thanks to Sophie being connected to the internet while Sword goes off and goofs off, apparently. Although Sophie does get connected to some El Dorado internet, whatever the hell it is called whatsoever. And we had to it that they did meet the guy, like I said, the middle-aged man who works for the El Dorado programming. And they managed to escape thanks to the guy downloading the data in Sophie's phone, and managed to take control of the entire warehouse that they were in. And Luke and Sword defeats and kills all the horrors that are dressed up as army men. Eventually, the middle-aged man managed to escape, which is a good thing. Luke gave him the key to a motorcycle, and then Sword gives him directions where to go, as it is the safest place where to stay at for the time being. And we had to it that he actually knows Sophie's brother, which Sophie actually found her brother's picture. He therefore relays a message to Sophie by saying that her older brother says, "I'm really glad I have a little sister like you around," and therefore left after he relayed the message. So it looks like to me Sophie's brother was involved with making the true El Dorado, which we get to know about El Dorado's purpose. It's known to be a feeding ground for horrors apparently, and the king is the one that has been controlling the horrors with that ring whatsoever, which I call it the One Ring, etc., due to the fact of what it is capable of. And we had to it that I'm really glad Sophie's brother is not the king, because I thought he was the king of El Dorado the entire time, but I'm really glad he isn't, because it would have been somewhat disappointing if he was the king of El Dorado. And I'm like, how did he make all this in the first place anyway? I mean, I don't know, but yeah, like I said, I'm glad Sophie's brother is not the king of El Dorado, just involved with making the true El Dorado. But the question is, who is truly the king? Because it looks like to me he really wants Sophie in El Dorado, and it looks like she's already in there, but what is his true purpose of getting her, you know? It looks like to me she might have a higher purpose. And Sophie did have a big role to play anyway, and I thought she was just like some damsel in distress who wants to look for her brother, etc., but it looks like to me she has more of a role than just being like, oh, I need to be protected, or I need to find my brother, etc., in sadness and in doubt. So I'm really glad of that. So it looks like Sophie's role is going to play eventually, and there is a lot of things to come. So yeah, until then, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. Hopefully, but next episode, it looks like it's titled Farewell, and I do see some tragedy coming up. And if it does happen, damn, this series is really starting to pick up its own menacing dark tragedies already, even though it already has its simple tragedies anyway with horrors. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, peace out, bye bye. Toodaloo.